Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Mission 3 podcast, Play Legit's premier podcast for gaming and real talk. We are your hosts, Koerri, Elijah, Uriah, and Brian, and we are back. We are back with the Mission 3 podcast. How you guys doing tonight?
Pretty good, man. Yeah. Ready to get back to Mission 3 here.
All right, I'm excited. I'm super pumped. So everybody out there, if you're not aware of the format of the Mission 3 podcast, each show we have 3 missions that we have to tackle. Within the mission, we have sub-objectives. We're going to have to successfully complete all of the sub-objectives to complete the actual mission. If we don't complete the objectives, then the mission has failed. If we complete them all, mission complete. By the end of the show, it's either a hit or a miss. That's why there's only 3 missions. We're going to either succeed the show or we're going to fail. So we're going to be on our toes. It's going to be fun. Brian, I know you're new to the format, so we'll get used to it. We'll get easy into it. It should be fun though. Don't worry about it at all. So before we get into everything, I just want to make sure everybody out there checks out playlegit.net, because that is the hub. That's where you're going to find everything legit, everything involved with gaming and real talk. We have original reviews, original content, all different types of stuff that goes up on that site there. So you want to check it out every day. There's always new articles that we have up there, game reviews, all of that good stuff. So that's the home, playlegit.net. Thank you to KJ, who puts in a bunch of work. He's the founder of Play Legit. He keeps everything together for us, and he's finally back from his little hiatus. So we are back as well, ready to bring the heat, ready to complete these missions. So you guys all set?
Oh, yeah. I think so.
All right. So before we get into the mission today, we have something that we're going to talk about before we go ahead and get into it. We're going to talk about something, if it's real or not. Now, there's been a lot of discussion online. 4chan dropped some hints about a potential Star Fox Grand Prix game that's going to be coming out. So I just want to get your guys' idea. Do you think this is real or not?
I think possibly it's real. My big thing is I thought F-Zero and Star Fox kind of were in the same universe a little bit, because I thought Fox's dad was a racer in some of the F-Zero games. And as we know, F-Zero, man, we've been waiting so long for another installment. It's been, I'd say, at least a decade, without looking it up, since we've seen an F-Zero game. I think I remember N64 was the last one. Or no, I think GameCube had something on it too. But, if this is actually like Nintendo's sly way of getting back into non-Mario Kart racing games, I'd be game for it. I think it's real.
What about you, Uriah?
I just want to say consider the source. Is it just 4chan? Like, who else is saying that?
Yeah, so it initially leaked on 4chan, and then some publications kind of picked it up, but nothing official has been released. It's all just kind of hearsay that people are kind of going by. So there was the hint that was dropped, and then after the hint was dropped and it started picking up steam, then on 4chan there was another title release that had the actual Star Fox Grand Prix on it. So from what I saw, from the graphics of what I saw, it didn't really look too legitimate. But 4chan has, they have actually gotten leaks before that actually, have come to fruition. So I'm personally on the fence about it. I would love to see it happen, but I think I would rather see an F-Zero racing game, though.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are hoping for that instead.
Mm.
Yeah, I'd be down for the racing bit. So.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be cool to have even if it is real, it'll be cool to have something that's different than Mario Kart, not taking anything away from Mario Kart. It is really fun, but just something a little different would be really cool. And, they can have like a story mode with it. I was reading into it a little bit, and they said it might even have like a story mode with the feel of almost like a Diddy Kong racing type thing, where you can use different types of vehicles and stuff like that. So that would be pretty cool.
There's a lot of Mario racing, so yeah. Diversify.
Right. Yeah, the
When you
only
get down to it, Mario Kart's a party game. Nintendo wants to get more into that competitive scene. Why not make like a real racing game?
Hmm.
yeah, so it's one of those things where it may, if it does happen, it definitely would be cool. But I'm still not sure. We're definitely gonna have to get more information before I will for sure say that it's gonna be real.
Oh, they're holding you to it. Better be careful.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I'm pretty sure I'm looking this up right now, and it's Retro Studios that's gonna be allegedly is working on the game. So we'll see. I mean, they did some good work with Metroid, so maybe.
They do the new Donkey Kongs as well.
Yep. Yeah. So hey, we'll see.
They got the pedigree if that's the case. Yeah.
We definitely will see. But yeah, we just wanted to touch base with that, kind of give you guys our opinions, see if maybe if we think it's real or not. Pretty much we're kind of on the fence. We're gonna have to get some more information on that. But hey, if it does happen, it'll be pretty cool. And I mean, especially on the Switch has really been killing it. They have so many titles. They've been getting a lot of third party titles, and the original titles that they're getting have been pretty cool. They have the announcement for a new Super Smash Bros. That's going to be coming out as well that we'll get more information on. So I think if they do actually bring this game to fruition, it'll be great for the Switch. Imagine playing this on the go, playing with friends linked up, at a friend's house or whatever it may be. It'd be pretty dope.
Yeah, slowly getting more titles on the Switch, so
Yeah.
that's definitely one. I think they'd make money. They like money, though. They'll do it.
Sometimes you'd question if Nintendo likes money or not. Some of their decisions.
It's okay. The CEO takes like a pay cut and everything. They're cool about it.
All right. Well, now that we have that out of the way, it's time to get to the creme de la creme. Let's get into the first mission, guys. Now, the basis of the first mission is going to be the Comic Zone. So we have 3 objectives. We're going to be talking about the rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and giving our thoughts. We're going to get a brief review of the Batman Ninja movie that has come out recently. And then also, we want to touch base on the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Yes, we're going to be talking about the MCU. Where do we go next with the MCU? Infinity War has just come out. We're expecting Ant-Man and the Wasp coming out soon. We have Captain Marvel that's going to be coming out soon. And then, of course, we're going to have the Avengers 4 that comes out next year as well to kind of wrap up everything with Infinity War. But other than that, where do we go next? So if you guys are ready, we can go ahead and get into this mission.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Well,
Mission go.
mission starts now. So for the rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, what do you guys think?
I'm on board for it. I don't know if we're ready for a reboot, but it looks fun at least. I'm not so sure how I feel about the animation, but they got the attitude. They've got the like happy-go-lucky. The turtles are actually having fun with what they're doing. It's not dark, gritty violence. That like the original comics were known for, and what the Michael Bay turtles were kind of going for. I'm willing to give them a shot at least.
Don't knock them Bay Turtles, man. Isn't this like the Teen Titans Go version of the Teenage Mutant
That's
Ninja
what
Turtles
people are
now?
saying, man. Like it looks like more basic and everything, but instead of like the turtles, fighting like other mutated creatures, it's supposed to be them unlocking like mystic ninja powers and stuff like that. So
Okay.
yeah, you got Uncle Iroh basically being Splinter now, and it's supposed to be them unlocking all this magic. So once again, I got to see where it goes, but I'm on board.
Yeah, I definitely, I'm gonna give it a chance. I'm a huge Ninja Turtle fan, so I have to give it a chance. At first, I watched the live reveal of the animation for the Rise of the Ninja Turtles, and honestly, at first glance of the character designs, I wasn't really feeling it. But actually seeing the trailer and seeing it in the live animation, it does kind of complement it a lot better. Like I said, I still kind of have an issue with the design for Splinter. They have changed April O'Neil, which is pretty cool. There's this long going debate between the two creators of the Ninja Turtles, of if the original April O'Neil was a black girl or if she wasn't a black girl. One claims she was, one claims she wasn't. So it's one of those things where it's kind of cool where they're mixing everything up now, kind of rebooting the entire franchise for the next generation, which, I kind of appreciate. I don't like the design of Splinter still. I don't think I ever will like the design of Splinter, but I think if he has good comic relief, he'll grow on me.
Did you see their new weapons?
Yeah, yep.
So,
Yeah,
like, once again, I got to see it, but, like, Raph doesn't have his sai. He's got Tonfa.
right.
Mikey's got, like, a flail now.
Mm.
That's what it looked like. It's like something on a chain. And Donnie's still got his staff, but in that trailer, it, like, turns into a hammer.
Right.
Like, they got some Reinhardt Overwatch hammer thing going on. And I think Leo's only got one katana now.
Right. And then the leadership role has shifted from Leonardo to Raphael, which that dynamic will be kind of cool to see how that goes because he still seems like he's kind of hot-headed. So we'll see that dynamic with Raphael actually leading them into battle. And one thing I did think was kind of cool too is that each of the turtles are a different species of turtle as well now.
Yeah,
so they kind of have their own different quirks, which is cool. Like it makes sense for Donatello, like he's a soft shell turtle, so he has like this mechanical shell, which kind of gives him more of a reason to be a tech type of person. Like he had to be smart because physically, he's not as strong as the other turtles. He's not a snapping turtle or anything like that, but he has the brains.
Turtle, isn't he?
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
So I thought that was cool with, the direction that they went with that. So, I'm excited to see what actually happens with it.
It's like most things. I'm usually on board until I see it. I like to give things a chance because that's what we do now. We reboot everything. We don't make anything original.
I think
that's another mission.
Rebooting it because like the old Nickelodeon series was great. I loved it.
Yeah.
Especially once they started hitting their stride in like season 3 and 4. They started all the comic callbacks, all the movie callbacks. They started doing like the alternative futures where like they go to like the post-apocalyptic Earth and stuff like that.
Right.
Oh, it was great. And I don't know if we necessarily need a new team quite yet, but I'll watch it.
Right. It does seem kind of soon, like literally there was just the crossover with Usagi, and then they're like, all right, well, this is over now and we're going to do this now. And I'm just like, that's really what hurt my heart because the series was phenomenal, for a show to be on a kid show on Nickelodeon coming on early on a Saturday morning. I would still watch the show. I've seen every episode, and for them to kind of just be like, all right, well, this is over with and we're going to completely change everything. That was kind of hard to swallow, but I mean, I'll still give it a chance.
That's not just me. I thought it seemed rather soon. It's like, man, my nephews were like just watching this. Like, what are they doing? Okay.
So let's get into Batman Ninja. What did you guys think about Batman Ninja?
So I think I'm the only one who's watched it all the way through, but definitely enjoyed it. Every still frame in the entire film is like a watercolor painting. There's even a scene with the Red Hood going up against who we think are Joker and Harley Quinn, and we'll get the spoiler territory if I go too much more into that. But that entire thing just felt like it was out of Kill Bill or something. Just complete great art direction and just this emotion that you usually don't see in the animated movies. Like there's a few good ones out there, like Under the Red Hood again, and a few of the others. But like the latest DC movies haven't really quite hit those tough points yet. And some of that was in Batman Ninja. The ending definitely goes over the top, though. There's once again, don't want to spoil it, but it just goes bonkers. Completely ridiculous by the time you get to the final section.
I've started the ending, and I do own it now, so I will finish the movie. Just personal reasons why I haven't finished it yet. Let's leave it at that. Sure. I like like at times, like it is really cool, the art style, right? But then there's certain scenes where I thought, like, man, that's just like really lazy watercolors or something. But
Some of it, yeah, like especially when there's a lot of movement. Like you take everything as a still frame, it's great, but then you realize it's almost just like a motion tween, almost for some of that stuff. It was a little.
I can't remember if there's dialogue or they were just traveling. But yeah, there were a few scenes where I'm like, man, that does not look great on my TV, kind of. But I don't know. That wasn't this great copy I have now, so we'll see.
Yeah,
I like it. I mean, anytime they want to do something like this, I'm all for it. So let's see some more stuff like this.
yeah, and I haven't seen it. I've only seen clips of it, but from the clips that I've seen, the action sequences do look pretty cool. The character designs are pretty, for the most part, are good. I had
Phenomenal, man. They take everybody and put them in like this feudal Japan, the Sengoku Jidai era, and they just run with it. It's great.
right.
Yeah, like it was not what I expected. I thought they're just like, oh, Batman got pushed, through time, and that's it. But no,
Ninja Turtle stuff going on.
yeah, they embrace, where they are and everything. But yeah, you just gotta watch it.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna check it out soon. The only clip that I saw, or the only character design that I saw that I was like, I don't know, is Robin, but it was mainly because of his hair. But again,
yeah, it looks like he lost a fight with a pair of scissors almost.
yeah,
Yeah, it's supposed to be like classic feudal Japan style and stuff like that. I don't personally know enough about it to really have a great opinion on it, but that's the first time we've seen all 4 of the major Robins on screen together. Like that just blew me away. I'm a huge fan of Nightwing, but you put Red Hood, put Red Robin and Robin all in the same room, and they're all like having a tea ceremony with Batman in that one trailer, and it's just I love seeing it.
So let's before we run out of time here, MCU, the future of the MCU. What do you guys think?
They're gonna keep making money, so
Oh, they're gonna make until the heat death of the universe. We're gonna have MCU movies pretty much at this point.
until Thanos does something about it,
I want to see Skrulls next. So after Thanos and everything, we got to take everything kind of back out of that cosmic realm. And the Skrulls, for those who don't know, they're like shape-shifting aliens. They've had a war with the Kree, which we saw in Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and stuff. So we know they're fair game. We know they're out there. So I think like the Skrulls kind of infiltrating the Avengers and stuff, that could make for a pretty decent plot, I think, in the future. So I think that's where we're headed next.
A lot of fans seem to be thinking that, like they could replace Captain America at any point, and yeah, they could have a lot of fun with it, sure.
Yeah,
like Secret Wars, I think that's like another major one. Everything else involves mutants, and that I don't know if this Fox merger is going to happen, but without the mutants, you kind of neuter a lot of their storyline.
right. I'd like to see the Fox merger. Hopefully it goes through because I want to see Venom get catapulted into this universe as well. So, all right. Well, mission 1 is done. I think we just narrowly made it. That's just my opinion. I personally, honestly, I feel like I could have added a lot more. I didn't really say much about the MCU. So.
Oh, there's definitely, there's a whole podcast worth of stuff to talk about.
Yeah, so I think we narrowly made it. The points that you made on the MCU kind of covered everything. So I'm gonna let this one slide, but it was literally by the skin of our teeth.
Snapping your fingers.
Yeah.
Yep.
Should have aimed for the head. I'll never forget that, man. It's like, why wouldn't you just aim for his head? Like, you have this giant axe, man. Come on, go.
I don't feel great, Mr. Koerri.
I don't want to go. That was ad-lib too. I don't know if you know that, but it was he ad-libbed that whole
nice
part there.
I didn't know that part.
Yeah. Now I heard Tom Holland actually, he's such a great actor. He actually, that everything that happened afterward, he actually did that. They had to like mop him back up.
Oh, wow.
He won't be in the second one.
Literally turned to dust, just like the action figure means, right?
Yeah. Just a
Yeah,
bag of
3D
sand.
printed mold. They just
Spider-Man.
put them back together. It's fine.
Oh man, that was hard to watch. That definitely was kind of hard to watch. Like, no, our favorite characters that you just gave us.
Oh man, when Black Panther started fading away, I was like, "Oh, you got some balls."
Yeah.
Like, oh boy.
Are we cutting this out, or are we going to leave this in? By the way.
We're gonna have to leave that in. People might
Okay.
comment. They might flood our Twitter and say, "Hey, you failed that first mission because you kept on talking about it." But it's hard not to.
I meant for spoilers, but I
Oh,
guess
I mean, yeah. I mean, how many? The movie came out how long ago?
Okay.
It's already made like almost $1 billion. If you haven't seen the movie, like,
That's why I said Koerri instead of Mr. Stark.
Oh.
I'm like, I'm not going to spoil it for everybody.
Yeah, that's right.
Never mind.
As soon as you said dust, I was like, "Guess we're doing it." Let's
Oh.
go. Yeah.
oh, I'm sorry. I'm horrible with that. I apologize, everybody out there. If you haven't seen it, you can send me all of the hateful tweets that you want to.
Put a big alert at the beginning of the podcast.
Spoiler warning.
Ever since that first scene, man, like Loki, like, oh yeah, they're doing it. Yeah.
It's only like the 4th time they've killed Loki.
I feel like he's dead this time, like Thor said.
No more resurrections. Yeah, they landed
Right.
it pretty hard.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know. Someone might get the gauntlet and snap their fingers twice and make everybody come back, even Gamora.
Yeah.
All right, so the second mission, guys. Game of the Year contenders. Okay, so we're gonna be talking about Red Dead Redemption 2 and God of War. Okay, should be fun. We're gonna kick it off with our thoughts on Red Dead Redemption 2, and the mission starts now.
Alrighty, suppose I'll go first. I don't want to see John Marston this time around. You know, after how Red Dead Redemption 1 ended, you know, I don't want to see any of that family. I want this to be brand new. You know, Red Dead Redemption 1, like I remember the opening scene is like a car being taken off a boat. I think we push this more into, you know, we lean more heavily into like that Civil War, you know, get a little bit more steampunk into it, open everything up a bit more, and just turn it into GTA 5, you know, in the West. You know, I'm excited for it.
I agree. That's my thoughts exactly. GTA 5 in the Wild West, riding ponies. The online, I'm hoping is gonna be phenomenal. I imagine it will be. From what I'm hearing, all of the NPCs as well. Just even the single player mode of the game seems like it's gonna be so immersive. And so fun and so different for everyone that plays the game, just based off of the AI that they're using for the NPCs, where they have their own routines. It's, you know, if you follow around the barber, he's gonna go to the barber shop, he's gonna go home, he's gonna go do all of his you know, little nuances to actually make them seem like they're actually alive, which is really exciting to see in a game. Rockstar, they came together as one cohesive unit to make this game, so this is huge, you know.
Usually like individual studios, you know, they got like 5 or 6 underneath them. One makes ping pong games, one makes GTA.
Right.
You know, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be amazing. Graphic wise, I think it's gonna look phenomenal from what we've been able to see already. On a PS4 Pro, it's gonna look amazing. I can already tell.
They're going to
The thing I'm worried about though is what happened to GTA 5. How they just kind of like left the single player in the dust.
Mm.
You know, like as soon as that GTA Online kicked in and they got the PC involved, I remember it came out for 360, PS3, and as soon as the next generation came out, you know, all we got was DLC and events for online. They didn't touch the single player. You know, and I just hope that doesn't happen again.
Right.
I want Red Dead Redemption had a great story. Let's just keep going with it. You know, GTA 5, you know, it's shooting people, you know, a lot of the time. It's got some decent like mob stories, crime stories, but you know, other than a few like Vice City, Ballad of Gay Tony, stuff like that, it's never been really known for its amazing story. It's more about the mayhem. Red Dead Redemption, though, they got to rein that back a little bit, I think, and just they got to pay a little bit more attention to that single player, which we're going to talk about later in the podcast too.
I like the idea that like the loops like in Westworld where you follow the barber, you know, he goes home eventually and
Then the barber does his like amazing monologue, but someone shoots him in the middle of it. No one's
Exactly. It's not getting confirmed for PC yet, though, right?
It's Rockstar. It'll eventually make it.
Yeah.
Nah. Like, why not just say it then? But yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. I mean, they got everybody to purchase GTA 5 like 3 times, so
Right? Yeah.
I imagine the same thing may happen with this game. But I think it'll be worth it, though. I really do. I thoroughly enjoyed the first Red Dead Redemption. I think this is going to be amazing. And hey, maybe they'll even do another Undead Nightmare.
Man, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Because I mean, that just turns it into a completely different game.
That was like one of the first major DLC packs I remember that just completely altered the game, just completely added onto the story. Amazing.
Yeah, and like you said, the story with Red Dead it's so phenomenal that you want to see these DLC packs that come to expand the storyline of the game for the single player mode. Now, I feel like there will be a big push on the online just because of the nature of the business right now, but single player games are making a comeback like we'll talk about later on in the show, and I feel like if it does get that attention, it'll do big numbers. It'll do great.
We like big numbers.
Indeed.
They ensure sequels and stuff.
Mm-hmm. So when it comes to the online mode of the game, though, what would you like? What kind of game modes would you like to see?
Well, like heists were a huge deal in GTA 5 when they eventually added them. I remember it was almost a year and a half before they finally added them. I don't know how they would add anything like that to Red Dead, other than like classic raids, like robbing a train, robbing a bank using just like dynamite and.
I was about to say rob a train. Yeah.
Yeah, like robbing a train level. That'd be pretty cool. Other than that,
break into like a fortress, almost like a Alamo type scenario.
Yeah, definitely.
That would be pretty cool.
Big fortified place.
Yeah, and then
must have the Gatling guns and stuff like that. Get the bigger weapons involved.
Right. And then there was other things. So there was little nuances in the first Red Dead, like playing cards and stuff like that. Hopefully they bring those little things back, hunting and stuff like that, selling furs and all of that. Maybe I can just, become an online fur trader or something like that, which would be pretty cool.
I'll never forget one of the achievements in the first one where you, I think the achievement was called Dastardly, where you had to tie up a woman and leave her on train tracks, and then the train came through and just poof. I imagine just seeing like those little nuances, both in the online and single player, is going to be great.
I want the first murder guys to come up and just get red paint on you. No.
Something I'm interested in seeing is I never played. I know the original one had a little bit of online to it, but one of the major aspects of Red Dead was like you could slow down time to do the fastest gun and the best stuff. I want to see if any of that's in the multiplayer or not.
So, do you guys think? Do you think it's a contender for Game of the Year?
I think it has a chance, definitely.
It'll be in the running.
I've done this thing for almost 10 years.
So let's get into God of War, the another one that potentially could be a contender for Game of the Year. Honestly, I feel like it is a contender for Game of the Year just based off of all of the reviews and the how it looks, the gameplay. They did a fantastic job with this game.
I've only heard good things, so
it's definitely like God of War always was. The camera zoomed back. It was all combo based. It was very visceral. This one definitely brings it in to him and his son. It tells the story of him and his son. And it doesn't really go into all those tropes everybody thought it was going to. Everyone's just like, oh, Kratos killed all the Greeks. What's he going to do now? He's going to go and fight Thor or fight Jesus and all sorts of things. God of War 2040, he fights the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. That'll be calling it now. But no, like this one, like he fights like two gods that anybody knows. Everything else it's mostly trolls, giants, stuff like that. He doesn't really cut a swathe through the pantheon like everybody thought he did.
True.
Mm-hmm. What did you?
Bald.
I'm
not familiar with at all.
What did you guys think about the design of the game and how they really stepped it up? Like even like the one of the biggest memes that I saw going around is just like, oh my god, the snow is actual snow. Like,
I like all the dad jokes that are apparently in the
oh
game.
yeah, boy.
I just watched the reviews on it, but yeah, it's one of the highlights.
Well, it's like with Horizon Zero Dawn, which is another PS4 exclusive. They added their Frozen Wilds, and all the snow in that one was amazing. And then it just seems like they just took that engine, ramped it up to 11, and threw it in this one. Yeah, like the graphics are amazing. Especially like the water too. A lot of the game happens in the boats, and a lot of that's great too.
Like Tomb Raider with the hair engine. When that came out, people were like, "Oh my god!"
It's called Beard.
Yeah, beard engine.
We spent $6 million on that beard. We are going to show it.
Every angle. So it's definitely in my opinion a contender for game of the year. I mean, I can't really think of many other titles that can really knock it out of that top spot just based off of all of the reviews that it had gotten, the actual gameplay of the game, how many people were actually playing the game online for streaming it, things like that, especially with games like Fortnite that are just so huge, and especially like the streaming community is just people trying to get views are going to stream Fortnite, but
yeah,
there's still people streaming God of War, going through the second, third playthrough of the game. So I think it's definitely up there. And
we still got E3 coming. We know we got Smash coming this year. There's still quite a bit of things coming, but this has got to be, I'd say, top 3 no matter what. Unless Nintendo somehow opens up the heavens, releases Breath of the Wild 2, out of nowhere, and somehow Fallout 5 comes out of nowhere.
Top 5.
Yeah, it's gonna be up.
All right, well, mission 2 is complete, and hey, that one was a little smoother than the first mission there. We got through it, but there was only 2 objectives in that one, so it kind of made it a little bit easier. We had a little bit more time for each topic there. But yeah, definitely Red Dead Redemption 2 and God of War, in my opinion, are going to be contenders for Game of the Year. We'll see towards the end of the year what happens, We'll see what the nominees end up being. And of course, Play Legit, we always have our own Game of the Year, best of categories that we have. Allow all of our viewers to go ahead and vote on, and then you get to pick what games you actually think are going to be the Game of the Year. It's not dictated by any, by corporate entities or anything like that. It's all from the people. So you'll see their Game of the Year, and then we'll also have our Game of the Year as well. So you'll definitely see both of these titles on that list.
Oh yeah.
All right, so it's time to get into the third and final mission. This is the name of the podcast, Mission 3. We're getting into the third mission here, and this is going to be based off of gaming genres. Now, we're going to be talking about the importance of single-player games, and also, it's 2018, and it seems like it's the year of the Battle Royale. We're going to give you our thoughts. Mission starts now. So, in my opinion,
it's the year of the Battle Royale. Go ahead.
So, in my opinion, single player games, I mean, they're super important, especially with getting into it being the year of the Battle Royale. Sometimes you just want to break free and you just want to play a game by yourself. You don't necessarily want to hop online. You don't necessarily want to hear a bunch of kids screaming at you through a headset, and you also don't want to have to mute people all the time either. And I
Killed by kids.
Right.
Minecraft's always there for you, Koerri.
I personally love just, I love playing games solo. Like, I love playing online, but just the feel of being able to just sit down, get into a game by myself, and just whatever it may be. Also, like, you play it on whatever difficulty it is. Play it on the hardest difficulty, whatever it may be. You don't have to worry about people online, seeing you, or people that you're playing with seeing you get blown out of the water or whatever it may be, you can kind of play through it over and over again, and you can kind of find those little nuances. And honestly, without single player games, would there really be a big niche for speed runs? You know, say
Oh yeah.
say all of the single player games went away. What happens to all of the people that do the speed runs? You know,
Like, watch me, the world's fastest 5 kills in Fortnite. You know, like that's all you got.
right? Yep.
I'm gonna break 5 chests in 5 minutes.
Man, I think single player is where the art form lives. You know, multiplayer has its place. You know, it's fun. You know, you bring everybody else into it. You know, there's even games out there that are heavy on the design that are still multiplayer. You know, like Overwatch is probably the one that always comes to mind. You know, just a fantastic game design, but at the end of the day, you're shooting people over the internet.
Yeah.
You know, that's what it is. But single player, a lot of people are saying single player is dying. You know, maybe couch co-op is a little bit, but I think single player is alive and well, and it always has to be. You know, like this year, like we were just talking, Red Dead Redemption's coming out. You know, it's going to have the strong single player. God of War came out, had the strong single player. You know, we got Spider-Man coming out this year, going to have definitely that strong single player. You know, Smash is a party game. That's another one that's coming. Let's see, Far Cry 5, you know, it's got some co-op to it, but that's a strong single player.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's just so much out there that I think that is just necessary for the genre, or not even the genre, just for like the medium.
Mm-hmm.
You know, video games always need the story.
Right.
I mean, how many indie games are still single player? You know, go look at
Oh,
Steam.
you know, when you think indie game, you think, you know, it's, oh yeah, early access, crafting, zombies, you know, type stuff. But there's so many single player games out there. Like Celeste just came out on the Switch. You know, I think it's been on PC for a little while. But that's a platformer game that's completely single player that just talks about how a girl climbs a mountain and deals with like depression. You know, and for a lot of people that hits home. You know, and without that, once again, you're shooting kids online.
Right.
You always need that, you know, you always
Social
need that
fallback.
story to kind of just bring you back. You know?
Yeah, and like the stories, taking it back to Red Dead, like the story is it's so immersive, and it's, you know, you kind of get drawn into the story where the more you play it, like you just want to get to the end of the game. And sometimes when I'm playing online, especially, you know, playing Fortnite or whatever it may be, I get tired out a lot faster than I would get playing a single player game, you know, just playing a good solid story that's progressing you throughout time. You know, these games, these online games, these battle royale type games are just so repetitive at times, and like I get it. You know, there's an audience for it. Especially if you're streaming, people are gonna watch you play. If you get good, it makes sense. But for a casual player, I would say a single player game is gonna be the casual player's, you know, cup of tea.
I always bring it back to sports whenever I'm like having this argument, you know, with myself in the shower or with people at the bar. You know, it's like it takes so many people to play a game of football, you know, and anybody can watch football at home, but if you want to sit down and play a game of football yourself at your own pace, you kind of can't. But with video games, that's not the case. You know, you can get on, you know, do that 50 versus 50. You can do those battle royales. You can do those big scopes, you know, fast pace where it's kind of out of your hands, or you can tone it back. You can do like smaller co-op, or you can do the single player. You know, I just think that's just so important to be able to kind of control your experience.
So 2018, clearly, Uriah, you already said it, it's the year of the Battle Royale. And it's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and now we're seeing games like Fortnite just blowing up, making millions of dollars in a month, just getting all of the money. It seems like PUBG taking a little hit, but still is up there. And now we're seeing other titles actually starting to implement, or at least talking about implementing, a battle royale format into the game. Do you guys think this is a good thing? Do you think it's going to cause oversaturation of the format?
Oh, it'll definitely get a little saturated, but like I played Fortnite for like the first 2 months it came out, but I just did a PvE. Like I literally played the beta the first week they did like the battle bus, the Battle Royale, and it's like cool, and I just didn't play it again. And now look where we are. Like I don't even know if they're focusing on PvE anymore, which kind of makes me sad because that's what I was into.
The world mode now, like it's not like its own thing. Like nobody plays that mode. It's all PvP.
That's the free version though too.
Yeah.
Save the World was like the thing you buy. Yeah, like I'd launch my games like, do you want to do this or that? And yeah, it was very interesting for me to see how that evolved. It's like just seeing that happen. Yeah, 2018's the year for that. But
I think in battle royales you can it kind of encourages bad behavior, which is kind of a rough thing to say, but like, kids who play the Call of Duty games, they play Battlefield and stuff like that, where you're sitting back, you're camping, you're sniping, or like you bounce around trying to avoid getting shot and stuff like that. Just all like those little bad behaviors, that everybody kind of hates is encouraged in these battle royale modes. And I think a lot of people kind of gravitate towards that because that's the game, just play dirty, that's what you got to do. So I think I keep saying kids, it definitely has a younger audience to it, but I think a lot of folks really like it because it allows them to play dirty, and they get rewarded for it.
What do you think about the major companies trying to take advantage? Now we've seen, like in Fortnite, they've just done this collaboration with Marvel where they've brought in Thanos into the game, and it's just it almost seems like it's good promotion, it's good cross promotion. I'm not going to necessarily call it a money grab because it's a free to play game, but I mean,
I saw it on my Facebook feed. I'm like, what? It was like a week or less than a week after the movie came out.
Mm-hmm.
It's like an event.
I'm like, is this legit? But yeah.
I think they just announced when it's going to end.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, how long did they plan this? Did Marvel say, hey, you guys are popular, let's just stick Thanos randomly in your game?
Well, they have a couple superhero type skins and stuff like that, but as far as I know, like Thanos is the only like major character in the game.
Mm-hmm.
They made a Thanos, they made an Infinity Gauntlet model, and they called it a day.
That's like the only Marvel thing in that game, though, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It seems so random to me, but I don't know.
It was, but people dig it.
Yeah, I did not see that coming.
Maybe in June we'll get a T-Rex mode. You find a chunk of amber.
At this
when
point,
the Jurassic Park movie comes out. And that person gets to play a T-Rex in Fortnite.
Yeah, you gotta unlock Thanos. So yeah, you find the amber and unlock the T-Rex. That's just like how big they got because of the Battlegrounds, that Marvel is paying attention to this little game that they just seem so small when I started playing that game.
Yeah, it definitely blew up. PUBG started everything off, but then people wanted something a little more polished. People wanted something they could play on consoles that didn't cause it to explode. Fortnite was just the first one to say, "I'll do it." And now every other company seems to be making their own battle royale. But I mean, it's not the first time we've seen anybody try that. Like when MOBAs were huge, when League of Legends and Dota all were kind of dominating the market, and they still kind of are, very low key about it, but everybody was pumping out a MOBA. I remember DC put out their own MOBA, which looked super promising, but I didn't care for it. You got all like the different multiverse versions of Batman that could fight each other, but just no one really played it.
Woo! That one got close, but I feel like it was a mission complete. We touched base pretty much on everything that we could have talked about with battle royals. Anyways, one more question that I want to just throw into that though, really really quick. Do you think, and this is just out there, do you think Fortnite is a Game of the Year contender? And if it is, how do you think that would affect the industry?
The Game of the Year? No, not the game. No.
Like, I think there's going to be public outcry. There's going to be so many people saying, like, this deserves Game of the Year, but it didn't do anything new. Just flat out, it's just, it's like they took Coke, they made a Pepsi, but Pepsi's not winning Soda of the Year. People like it, but a lot of people are disappointed when they say, is Pepsi okay? And that's just kind of how Fortnite is. It's, God of War is up there at the top. Everyone's just like, yeah, can I get a God of War? Is Fortnite okay?
It's free, so you know.
Yeah, but free games are always going to be there, and they need to always be there. But I don't think that makes it Game of the Year.
It's like one gimmick. It's one. I don't know.
That's what. Yeah, exactly.
Like I said, the PvE was very interesting.
Things up, but they're not. It's nothing new. It's nothing new. It's nothing groundbreaking. It's nothing that deserves recognition from the industry, at least in my opinion.
I will agree, but if it somehow makes it in there, hopefully we don't see a huge shift in the industry where they just stop putting all of the effort into building complete games. Of course, there's going to be studios that will always do that, but hopefully we don't see a lot more of this happening. We don't need.
I wouldn't argue. I'll say I wouldn't argue with their success. Fortnite clearly is doing something right, but I think it's like a right time, right game mode kind of thing. I don't know. It's just funny to see that blow up.
Yeah,
I've never personally played a game done like the head start, got in there a week early, then it changed so drastically, become so popular.
Yeah, they pivoted so much.
Yes.
It was hunting zombies, in a base building game, and now it's like a PvP game.
Yeah, it's completely different.
As hard as you can.
Probably I played the beta for I don't know, 3 matches. I'm like, I didn't buy this,
Mm-hmm.
But then again, it's free for that mode. But yeah, I don't know. I don't see a free Battle Royale game being Game of the Year.
Well, there you have it, guys. All 3 missions are complete. We need you to tweet at us, comment in our comment section. Let us know what you thought. Let us know what missions you thought we failed. Let us know what missions you thought we've completed. In my opinion, I think we successfully made it through all 3. The last 2 missions only had 2 objectives, which made it a little bit easier. But you can expect us to be switching up the format. We'll always have more objectives on each mission that we have as we continue forward with the show here. So I do want to thank everybody for tuning in and listening to tonight's broadcast. It definitely was fun. The return of Mission 3 has happened, and you can expect us on Tuesday nights. We'll definitely be coming back with all of your favorite missions. You can tweet at us at Mission 3 Podcast or at Play Legit with your mission ideas, whatever you want us to talk about, whatever objectives, whatever missions you think we should tackle. Let us know. We'll definitely be taking them all into consideration while we get everything together each week. So do you guys have any final words before we end the show here?
I think you hit the nail. I think you got everything.
Glad Mission 3's back.
Yeah,
Hope everybody enjoyed it.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, I do want to just make sure you guys check out playlegit.net. Again, that is the hub. That's where you're going to find all of the episodes of the Mission 3 podcast, as well as all of the other great content, our original reviews, written and video reviews. There's a bunch of different stuff. You can get all different types of information when news happens in the industry, video game related. We're definitely going to be tackling it. There's movie reviews, all that different types of cool stuff on that site. So make sure you check out playlegit.net, and mission's complete.